You won't believe what we're doing. You're listening to Right Back At You, the 2000s pop music podcast where we have fun taking pop music seriously. Hosted by, he knows I'm attractive, but he was here first. It's the 2025 face of rock-aware, David Lim. And me, don't mess with this dude, the real Joel Babington. Hello, David. How are you doing?
I'm good, JB. Okay, final episode of the year. Surprise, guys.
You won't believe what we're doing.
You won't believe it. We had to, didn't we? Like, this was very much a last minute thing where we thought, okay, we just did World Idol. And guess what?
We got to follow up with, look, the best 29th of December release pop music has ever known.
And you know us, we love the Spice Girls. And we love Vicky's music.
We love Vicky's music and we got to put the good word on it. And we are here. My hopes for this episode is we're going to spend some time with you during that weird period between Christmas and New Year where you just got time on your hands. But also we're here to energize you and bring you fun in 2025 whenever you are putting this in your ears. But hope you all had a lovely Christmas and let's have a pop-tastic 2025.
So we had our catch up recently just to plan what we want to do for 2025. And you pointed out to me that we have a couple of comments left under our episodes on Spotify. I'm obviously aware of this feature, but like I don't look at it. So I'm like, if you're the moderator who's been approving it, thanks for doing that. But should we have a look at some of these lovely, lovely comments that people have left us?
Well, I think we've got a ghost in Right Back At Your Towers because I always go to approve them and I think you've approved them. So maybe one of us is doing a drunk. But yes, we've got a year's worth of comments. We've left them in gay abandon. But we'll read out a few now because we absolutely love hearing from you guys and seeing all your wonderful comments.
Absolutely. Okay, so JB, this one was left under speaking of Spice Girls, this was left under our recent episode celebrating the Spice album. There was a point in the episode where you brought up a Virgin Records conference room performance, which I'd never seen before. So someone got hold of this footage, uploaded it to YouTube, and we were like, oh my God, this is like incredible rare footage. And guess what? That person basically tagged themselves. They were like, that was me. So thank you to Lee who left this message. I was the leaker of that Virgin conference room performance of Wannabe. I own the VHS it's on and believe it's the only copy. Paid a lot of money for it.
Lee, thank you for your services to pop and archival.
I mean, essential footage, yeah.
Yes.
Glad it's with fans who, can appreciate it.
Take care of it, yeah. This one I absolutely love to see under our recent Kaggy Aggy Back to Basics episode from Richard. OMG, I'm so glad I found this podcast. I love Xtina to death since I was 8 when Genie was released. Heart emoji. You guys sound very warm and I feel like I'm listening to friends. And the sense of humour, iconic. Kiss, kiss. That to me is the greatest compliment because what I hope we do and what it feels like our listeners do get is that we have the admiration. We have, as we say, we have fun taking pop music seriously. So we have fun, we have a sense of humour, but there is no irony, nothing like that. So when the pop fans get it.
Yeah, you're our people. If you get it, you get it.
You are our people.
Yeah. So guys, if you are a Spotify listener, you can, of course, leave a comment under the episodes. One of us will find it.
Absolutely. We don't know which one.
Maybe there's a third. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe we do have someone's decided to volunteer their time. Give it a go. Do you fancy working for us?
Absolutely. But if you are loving what we're doing, wherever you're listening, please hit that 5-star button. Leave us a lovely review. Hit the subscribe button and tell a pop-loving friend. All right, Davo. Shall we get into it?
Let's get into it, JB. and I hope you're listening to this on the exact day that marks 21 years since the last Victoria Beckham solo single release.
To date. Because never say never. We're just putting it out there to the universe. Vic, you have our full support. Like, you don't even know how full and feverish and demonique that support is going to be, Victoria Beckham, if you ever come back to release new music. I'll be strutting down the streets with signs, with a speakerphone.
Oh my God. I think I would have to call in sick. Like, I think I would have to take the day off work just to like process what's happening. Like that's how important it is. And we're not taking a piss. Like, we genuinely love it. I have all the singles, this thing on DVD that we're going to talk about today. Our love is for real, you might say.
Our love is for real, but not into the extent that would get us sued. So...
yeah, so there's not going to be leaked music in this episode. So if you came here thinking it's going to be that, we are very respectful.
We are very respectful. We stick to the law. I'm going to put this out here right now. Everything in here is very short snippets of music officially released, and everything in here is under review and critique. And by critique, it should be review and adoration.
Yeah, celebration. So yes.
Celebration.
So yes, this episode, we are going to celebrate Vicky B's double A-side single, Let Your Head Go / This Groove. And also, while we're at it, we're going to talk about the tracks on the Réal Beckhams DVD that she put out. So it's like a documentary EP, if you will. Yeah, so it's like a documentary DVD, but it comes with bonus music. Now, to me, the music is the headliner. I don't need to 100%. See this. I don't need to watch this DVD with David Beckham, etc., about their lives or whatever it is. 6 original tracks on here. So we're going to get into all that. In 2002, JB, our Vicky B signed a new record deal with 19 Recordings and Telstar. Now, I want to know your thoughts on this because from what I could see, right, the actual recordings are owned by 19 Recordings, so that's Simon Fuller's company. And a brand new thing that I've never seen before called Moody Productions.
Clever, very, very clever.
That's that classic Victoria Beckham self-deprecating sense of humor again, because she knows the tabloid perception of her, never smiling, always pouting. I think that's her company.
Oh, I assume. One should never assume, but I 100% assumed that. 19
brokered a deal with Telstar Records, reportedly worth £1.5 million to
Brilliant.
Be a partner in Victoria's solo music. So this feels like a really savvy, I would say, step after the kind of Virgin Records major label situation where she stepped away from that. It's like, okay, I'm going to own my recordings. I'm going to own all the masters. It's very much like when Emma went back to work with Simon Fuller for the Free Me era, wasn't it? Because that was 19 as well.
So really, kind of around the same sort of time, both Emma and Victoria have gone back to 19. Emma's deal is... correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they basically set up 19 Recordings of 19 for Emma to do Free Me. Then I believe it had a distribution deal with Universal, but it was very much like the 19 record label. Whereas this is 19 Recordings with Telstar. So it's a partnership. I think Telstar are fronting a lot of the money and it would be a Telstar release. But I think in the contract, what's happened here, and what is a brilliant move for Vicky and Simon, maybe not for us as pop fans, but they had it where it is a co-production and where things happened, the rights have solely gone back to Victoria and Simon instead of sitting with the other labels that give Telstar Music releases now.
Yeah, please continue to bombard Victoria Beckham's email, fill her inbox with requests to get back to pop music activism and put the music on streaming.
We could do a street campaign. We keep it limited because we don't want to obstruct anything, but like once a day, someone could take a physical copy of Let Your Head Go and This Groove to the Victoria Beckham store very politely
Yeah,
And
we want a
just
peaceful
leave it
protest.
there.
Yeah,
Peaceful protest.
lay
We
down
would
on the
love this on
floor.
streaming.
Yeah, lay down on the concrete floor and just hold that CD. All CDs, multiple copies. There's CD1 and CD2 of this single. Let's stage a peaceful protest every day for the next 365 days until Vicky responds. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I bet you're wondering, in this time, 2002, 2003, seems like a long time to be working on music.
Well, I think, yes, it seems like, a long time, but we had A Mind of Its Own released in February 2002. There was allegedly going to be the single I Wish.
Oh, yes.
Vicky was pregnant. So Vicky had Romeo in September 2002.
True, yes.
And she's signing Telstar around that time. I mean, absolutely, really good on her for getting some things in place to then have the baby. And then, from 6 months pregnant until however much time you need, no one should be going back to work if they're just having a baby. Someone needs to recover, spending time with the baby. So really, to be getting a release at the end of 2003 is fantastic.
Yeah.
But we know our girl is a professional and she loves to get back to work while still being a hands-on mother. I found an article from December 2002 from the Irish Examiner, which was stating Posh could be a new pop idol judge.
Oh, that's an interesting proposition.
Yes. So apparently, the article reads, Victoria Beckham is reportedly in talks to be a judge on the next series of Pop Idol. She is said to have approached the ITV1 show producers following Geri Halliwell's appearance in Popstars The Rivals.
Wow.
And the Irish pop guru Louis Walsh told The Sun, Victoria Beckham is being lined up to star as a judge on Pop Idol 2. She has seen what Geri has done on Popstars The Rivals and thinks she could appear as a nice judge on Pop Idol.
Wow.
So apparently at this time, Victoria's approached producers and expressed interest in appearing, but it's early days yet. Obviously, we know that didn't happen. They stuck with their current lineup. But this must have been really good timing. She must have been back with Simon at this point.
He's probably making a lot of different promises, being like, hey,
Yeah.
I can get you this. I can do this for you. Let's explore these options.
I would have loved it. We didn't get it. But yes, it's interesting.
Part of the rebranding of Posh in this era is to show her personality, show her sense of humor. So yeah, I think it was a softer way to rebrand Posh. So I'm into that. But basically, she had two different bodies of work going at this point, right? There is a dance pop body of work first, I believe, before her very infamous collaboration with Damon Dash in America, where there was more the hip-hop R&B leaning material.
I think maybe the pop stuff was first. Allegedly, that's what Simon Fuller wanted. So it was like, right, great, start doing that.
And then she gradually found her thing and was like, okay, I want to do this. So yeah, there was like a source quote that was reported in the Daily Star that said, Victoria didn't know what she wanted while manager Simon Fuller and Telstar were clear they wanted dance-influenced pop. She recorded the tracks that have now been leaked, but then met Damon Dash and went off in a hip-hop direction, demanding the pop album be binned. She hated those songs and couldn't wait to scrap them, the insider added. Well, she didn't hate all of it, clearly, because one of it made it out as a single.
Yeah, I mean, look, we know these insider quote-unquote specifics can just be anyone saying anything for a story. But yeah, she hooks up with Damon Dash and, Q4 of 2003, she's the face of Roc-A-Fella, Damon Dash's clothing brands. I mean, it's chicken and egg. What came first, the music collaboration or Roc-A-Fella?
I think she saw this, and our Vicky is very business savvy. Her and Simon Fuller, like, perfect pairing, because they know their stuff. And she's always business minded. So I think this always was a all-encompassing, broader business relationship rather than just music. Like, I think it would involve fashion and stuff like this because, yeah, like Roc-A-Fella, Damon Dash is busy building this brand, this empire at this time. And I remember seeing the first promotional pictures for that. I was like, oh my God, Vicky's crossed over to America. Like, this is a really big deal.
Up in Times Square, huge, which is absolutely phenomenal. In the Réal Beckhams, you see Vicky go to New York and take a look at it in Times Square.
Yeah.
And it's just brilliant.
So I think that was all happening. And, you know, the music was part of the mix as well. And yeah, the Daily Mail reporter at the time, sources at Telstar claim that they are now trying to get out of their £1.5 million contract with Posh. The record label's refusing to put out the album she has recorded with Dash, while she refuses to let them put out the pop songs she made before meeting the rap star. A source quote said, "We have had enough and just want to terminate the contract because she's not providing us with what was promised. She won't back down over Damon, and the worst thing is she refuses to come and meet us to discuss the situation. We just want to cut our losses." A source close to Victoria said she would be surprised if Telstar dropped her, insisting they need us more than we need them.
Yeah.
And Damon Dash has already offered to release her music on his record label Roc-A-Fella as part of the Universal Music Group.
Wow.
Don't play Vicky B. Like, do not play in her face.
Absolutely not.
And do you know who clocked this and went straight to the press? Actual fucking Damon Dash. So he did an interview with the Evening Standard, which is now called the London Standard, and he said, quote, "Because Victoria's record company aren't happy about the fact that she came over to New York to work with me, they are putting out stories. Before anyone's even heard the album, they were making things up. I heard a story that Victoria was calling herself the female Eminem. That's just dumb. She never said that. I'm going to open a Roc-A-Fella Records in London. I'll show these Telstar cats how it's done."
Wow. I mean, the music industry behind the scenes really is absolutely wild. 2003, towards the end of 2003, it kind of seems like all things are go. Even before the release, a month before the release, they're interviews saying, okay, so you've got these 2 singles coming out. We're hearing it's R&B. We're hearing it's hip hop. We're hearing Posh is going to rap. There was a lot of different sparks of interest going on, wasn't there?
Did you catch a lot of this at the time? What were your thoughts on what was happening?
I wasn't a 10-year-old reading The Sun and reading the tabloids.
You went on Den, the forums, because I was hooked. At this time, I was hooked on the forums, like, especially the Spice Girls forum, like checking what was going on, because they would, like, you know, the fans would be so voracious, like they would copy and paste articles or scan them and upload it to the forum. And yeah, it really did sway my mind. I was thinking, has she lost her mind? Like, what is she doing?
Yeah, I think from my end, because I was just absorbing the output, it just felt like a really exciting time again. If you have Emma kicking off the Free Me campaign and in the midst of that.
I think Mel C was second solo album era at this time. Yeah.
And like Jerry's just done Pop Stars. So our girls just feel out and about. I was really in my unashamedly like, people aren't loving the Spice Girls, but I love the Spice Girls. So it was just so nice to see them doing stuff.
Yeah, just nice to have activity. Yeah, this was in my peak solo Spice Girls stardom era. So I was perched and I was ready regardless. So, you know, we say all this to say that that is kind of the landscape of what was going on as we go into this double A-side single, and also a reason as to why things were the way they were with this release, right? So apparently Simon Fuller and Victoria clashed over which should be the singles. So it was decided that they will release both tracks, Let Your Head Go, which is the dance pop banger, and This Groove, which is the sexier R&B mid-tempo, co-produced by Damon Dash, and in a very savvy move to engage the pop fans and the community of this time. What did Vicky do? She went on top of the pops, didn't she?
Mm-hmm. She went on top of the pops. She gave an interview one week, and the interview said, you know, tune in next week and you're going to see both of my videos, and you guys are going to get to choose which one I perform the following week. So it was really putting the direction and control to the fans, which I love. Even in the Top of the Pops interview, they're saying this is really new. It's a new, brand new Top of the Pops exclusive, you know. Instead of it being fed to radios and doing the long lead in that time, they're going straight to TV, which actually maybe is a really savvy move of naturally maybe radio's not going to play it. So what can we use to our advantage? TV's going to want Victoria on.
Exactly.
So if we actually say we're doing something new,
it
doesn't matter if radio's playing it or not.
Yeah, we're going to get the publicity off the back of that. And also, like, this is a time where Pop Idol was in its peak, as we talked about with our last episode. People love to fucking vote on telly. So let the audience decide what Vicky's next single should be, yeah. I mean, they say that, but you're still getting both tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's missing out.
So, on that note, shall we get into the songs?
Chomping at the bits, mate. Let's go. We're not going to do a vote with which one we talk about first.
We should have done that. We should have flipped a coin. But no, we're going to go with what Vicky wants.
Yes. What Vicky wants, Vicky gets. So let's talk about the first track on this double A side experience, This Groove. This might come as no surprise to you, JB, but I did prefer This Groove.
Nice. You know what, right?
I don't know if it's one that I stand by now as much. I think I've changed over the years. I've become fruitier. But me as an R&B kid in 2003, listening to Brandy, loving Destiny's Child, J-Lo, I was like, okay, this is a bit of me.
You were here for your new phone sex anthem. I was always, you know what I am, I'm pop dance boy, so I always loved Let Your Head Go. But I think This Groove has inched ahead for me. Like, Let Your Head Go is really fun, and I love it on a night out. I'd love it all the time.
That's the one we hear at Push the Button, yeah.
But This Groove is so classy and slinky and sexy and
don't say
mature.
Nothing. You won't believe what I'm doing.
A very savvy move, a December 29 release, so it will be in the first chart of the new year.
I mean, historically, the quietest charting week of the year. So, again, a very savvy move, as you said, because she's guaranteed a good chart placement.
Nothing's guaranteed in this world.
Better than putting yourself up against stiff competition around Christmas period. So they definitely knew what they were doing with this one in terms of the timing of the release. From the very first time I heard it, the intro with that incredible, devilish violin strings, I was like, what is going on? What is this track? And then the sexy spoken word phone sex intro. Oh. Insane.
Absolutely brilliant. And do you know what is brilliant? Watching back on all these performances when she's on, yes, Top of the Pops, but also like the spin up, like the kids' sideshows of Top of the Pops and Pop World, not bleeping out sex.
But also you look at the songs that were out at the time. Yeah, like sex is everywhere. As she said, sex is written and the scribbled writings on the wall.
Imagine if I just spray painted on the wall behind me, sex.
Your boyfriend's going to be in for a shock.
VB was here.
But yeah, I love the provocative lyrics. Like, it's just, you know, it paints you a picture of seduction. It is like posting a thirst trap on the main. That's what Vicky's doing here. You see, I made the decision to give you a call because sex is written and the scribble writings on the wall. Baby, I've been going crazy sitting in my room. Fantasizing about you has never felt so good.
Oh my God, David. If Vicky's not putting it on streaming, you need to release it as a spoken word track.
Shh, don't say nothing.
And then you could do it completely spoken word. And then in the last third, I just come in, there's a sign up on the door saying don't disturb this groove. And then you go, don't say nothing. And then I'm never heard of again.
Yeah, if Telstar Records was still around, I'd say we are available.
Oh, we'd be getting one of those hefty advances, definitely. So,
£1.5, yeah.
This song, it samples the System's Don't Disturb This Groove. So, you know, she's going in with edge with a sample.
Yeah, it's a cool track. I mean, I looked on Wikipedia. It was at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. So it's a song that I think Americans know. It's probably like bigger over there. It was not one of those things where it's like, oh, why did she do that? It was more taken with reverence. It was like, okay, kudos to her.
Yeah. So you tapped in. What was your thoughts on Al Vic becoming a new R&B queen?
To be honest, there were always flavors of R&B in her debut album. Also, like, from Forever, the last Spice Girls album. So I think it works with Vicky. Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, even like, do you know what she should have done in the press? The first time we heard Victoria Adams sing on her own was Say You'll Be There. So she should have used that to her advantage. You know, I've always loved R&B. My first solo with the Spice Girls was Say You'll Be There, which, you know, had a much more of an R&B feel to it to a lot of our other stuff.
It wasn't very much of bringing up the Spice Girls in this time, was it? I feel like all the solo girls were like looking forward, looking ahead, trying to carve a lane for themselves.
Vicky seemed the one that was the most bringing them up at this time. You know, what we achieved was amazing.
Yeah, incredible. So this song, This Groove, was written by Alicia Brooks, who would later go on to write Rihanna's Ponder Replay, David Conley, who's written songs for Aretha Franklin and Sister Sledge, and as we said before, Damon Dash is one of the co-producers on this, along with David Conley and David Frank from The System. So the people that came up with the original track that was sampled gets a producer credit as well. Now, Billboard called this song one of the few times that Victoria Beckham looked and sounded entirely at ease going it alone. That's real high praise.
They absolutely were not wrong. Both videos, what we're going to talk about, I think show sides of Victoria. Like, the other one is going to show a lot more of the comedy, which we absolutely adore.
British humour, yeah.
British humour. But this shows, like, slick, sexy R&B global star. For people to get it in an accessible way, this establishes her as a sexy adult R&B artist.
Yeah, which is not something we had with the first album. Say You Only Knew the Singles, Not Such an Innocent Girl. Yes, it's R&B-flavoured pop, but it was already like quite teen pop in its energy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was trying to position her in that almost Britney, Christina sort of sound.
Definitely.
So it wasn't mature like this. This is exactly where she should be. And guess what? Her vocals sound really lovely on it.
If this was a video podcast, you'd see my shoulders are rolling up and down.
Yeah, there's a bit of body rolling in the choreography, which we'll talk about later. But let's get to the music video for this, JB. It is directed by Andy Hilton. Now,
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Uncle Andy. He's done videos for So Solid Crew, Beverly Knight, Estelle, and because this is a double A-side single, both videos were shot in 2 days, back-to-back in London. So, very different vibes, but we're loving that they go together.
I was watching the behind the scenes, and if you do watch them as a pair, this is sort of meant to be the first one, and then it leads into the other one. This, she looks just absolutely incredible. It's so sexy.
Sex puss, as you say.
I mean, what's that even mature sex puss? Like, sex goddess.
Liz Hurley?
Yeah, Liz Hurley. So the video does show Vicky alone rolling around on a bed, which really, if this is about phone sex, I mean, I don't think we actually ever physically see a phone, but showing it as more of kind of like a self-pleasure putting yourself first.
Yeah.
POV is fantastic.
It's alluring, you know, and she said in the behind the scenes of the video that they shot at double speed, so the track is sped up. And what that does is when you go into post-production, they slow it down to the original tempo and everything just looks more slow-mo and like just sexier, you know, the movements, the way she's delivering the lyrics. I love the opening shot of this where it's just all you see is the black silky gown that she has and it's billowing behind her as she walks away from the camera. You see that black gown and you instantly know it's Posh.
If we were in a social media world, that would be the snippet on Reels, like something's coming.
And what I also really love is how the textures of the fabrics in this video, there's satins, there's velvets, like these are all very tactile fabrics. You know, it really brings to life the sensual performance that she's giving you because you've got all these different materials that look soft and tantalizing to touch.
Absolutely. And like, whilst there's no like choreography, so to say, she's really moving her body around and showing that Lane's training in a way that, you know, the core is used, the legs are like active, the hair is hairing.
These are very good extensions. Yeah, these are very expensive extensions.
So the two CDs, David, one CD has This Groove / Let Your Head Go, and the other one has Let Your Head Go / This Groove, which I really love. So both songs get a moment to be like top billing. So with that in mind, shall we talk about the artwork for the CD that is This Groove / Let Your Head Go? Black and white, gorgeous, Victoria Beckham in orange font. And it's just a close-up. It's just, you know, head and arms, a little bit of shoulder hair.
This kind of pose, very Victoria Beckham. Tender, you know, vulnerable, but yeah, it's also giving timeless. Whereas the other one, the Let Your Head Go led CD2, we're getting a shot from the video, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've paid for the set, you've paid for glam, let's go for it.
You use it.
Yeah, exactly. So CD2 has not only the radio mixes for both songs, but also one remix each for those songs. Real bonus, have to have it.
Yo. My eyes are on you like a spy's on you. I despise all the guys that are ever on you, but it's my time, let me put it on you. So I ain't trying to disturb the groove, I wanna see you move. Just show me what you're trying to do. I ain't trying to be rude or nothing, but just trying to get my groove onto you.
Vicky, at this time, she was out and about. She was making sure everyone knew this single was coming December 29th. My favourite performance of this one, David, was Victoria on Pop World.
Oh.
She's wearing a grey silver silk shirt, high-waisted black trousers. The male dancers are in all black shirt trousers. The shirts are pinstriped. And it was just, I mean, every performance of this is just so smooth and controlled. And she's just in such rhythm with her dancers. And it's so powerful. Like, I just love it.
I think out of the two singles that we're talking about here, this one gives me my favorite live performances. Because as she said, the control, the poise. I remember a choreographer at the time of release was commenting about her movements here, saying that, you know, Victoria's such a beautiful woman. We don't need to do too much. Like, it should be about subtle movements. And because we've seen Vicky do the
everything.
11 out of 10 performance. Go watch a live performance when she was doing Out of Your Mind. Like, she was giving Janet Jackson there.
Not Such an Innocent Girl. That choreo is a lot.
The two different kinds of choreo that she prepared for that. Yeah. But this, it's like, I love, that was like the Top of the Pops exclusive first performance where she's on a circular podium and all the male dancers were like dancing around her. Again, the all black suit, the handheld mic. I was like, this is classy.
Very.
But my favorite is actually the one where I believe it's the third Top of the Pops performance where she was introduced by Emma Bunton.
Amazing.
And that was the week that the single was at number 3. So a real highlight, real celebratory moment. She's got the white business shirt with the silver sparkly bits, this green mini skirt, gorgeous oiled up legs, giving it to you there.
Absolutely brilliant. What I also loved on this Pop World interview, they did a segment that was Victoria having to open fortune cookies to talk about what will your 2004 be. I'm definitely banking that for social content ideas when we do our, all of it. So she was doing that, and then they managed to lead it into asking her about Jordan.
Oh.
Because Jordan was connected to Dane when they did Out of Your Mind. So there was a whole thing.
Oh, okay, right.
But she's just so sophisticated with it. And she goes, you know, I used to know her, but I don't know her anymore. And I'm like, this is the UK's version of I don't know her.
For our listeners at home that are too young, Jordan is a.k.a.
Casey Price.
The Pricey.
The Pricey. So, Davo, shall we talk about the other A-side on this? Let Your Head Go.
Wow, this is the poptastic banger.
Get the poppers out the fridge, lad.
Can I ask you, do you think this is Victoria's most famous song with the pop community and the gays of our generation?
Right, it's a really good question. I think it is, but only in like our corner of the internet. In terms of like
that's
online,
what I mean. Our community.
Online pop gays notoriety. Because the unavailableness of it just adds to the lure.
Yes.
In the video for this, where she's trying to reach the OBE, that's us with this single. Like, we just want it on streaming.
Get it on streaming. Please, Vic, answer your emails. And for many years, it was like that with Out of Your Mind as well. But I think that one has like mainstream crossover. Like the Straights know that song.
Out of Your Mind, huge sales, you know, come on.
Yeah, that was a cultural moment. Let's get into Let Your Head Go, the thumping electro-pop banger by our Vicky B, OBE. This is written by a couple of folks that look like they're Scandi pop writers, and there's a British songwriter in there, but very interesting, Joel, co-produced by Full Intention. They are very known for doing these big house remixes for a lot of our pop faves. So you always see like a Full Intention remix.
Wow.
And one of them, Michael Gray, would go on to have a huge solo single in 2004, The Weekend. I can't wait. Yeah, for the weekend to begin.
Right, well, where was Vicky featuring on that? Come on, Michael.
That should have been, come on, Mike. Yeah, give Vicky a ring. She could have been the renter vocalist on that.
So come on then. So here we have, and I wonder if this was the compromise, right? If Vic wasn't as keen for this song, I wonder if the compromise was like, okay, well, you can have a really fun, creative comedy video because we know that's what you like and do. Now, I was watching the making of this video, and I did notice she said as a throwaway, I didn't know I could act until today. And I'm like, Victoria, you were the breakout star of Spice World.
Comedy genius.
So please do not say that, okay? Victoria does say, you know, this groove is more serious, while still got a bit of satire, whereas Let Your Head Go is really just a piss take. Now, this shows Victoria in her dressing room, freaking out with clothes hangers in a reference to Joan Crawford in Mummy Dearest. It has her in dream sequences trying to reach the OBE, touching on what David had got at the time. She's achieved that now, Vicky B OBE. And then outside with photographers and paparazzi and them not wanting to take her photo. Lots and lots and lots of stuff going on here. And I love it now as a 33-year-old man. I think it's absolutely bloody genius. My question is, do you think a Top of the Pops and Pop World and CD UK audience are going to appreciate Mummy Dearest references?
I think even if you didn't know the Mummy Dearest reference, which I didn't know at the time, I mean, it was a very it was acted out in a way that it was so distinct because they really did like zoom in on her stare and then it zooms in on the clothes rack with the metal hangers. I think everyone can appreciate the craziness to it. I do think it's a music video that if you're a young pop fan at the time, you will need to watch this a few times to get the different layers of messaging, because when she's coming out seemingly from like a mental facility because she's had a breakdown, and you know, the paps like trying to get pictures of her and she's like falling down, being dramatic, being helped up. And then the next time she comes back out, no one's taking her pictures. It's like, that is another layer of the fame game and the celebrity thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's really
absolutely.
clever, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. 2 extraordinary videos to get shot across a 2-day shoot. Absolutely brilliant. We then have the last third of the video, the dance floor section. So this might be the visual bit that's maybe most known out of everything. It's Victoria on the throne, and then she's got the hip hop dancers around her, giving very like the Clapham Grand dance floor with the light up flashing floor. And she's just like judging them all, giving them like, what have you?
And this again plays into the trope of Buckingham Palace, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. That, yeah, they're living their lives really flashy and really large. So, yeah, she's poking fun of herself there for sure.
And then the video ends on my favourite bit of all of Victoria Beckham's music videos. She sits back in the chair, she does the up yours, the 2 fingers, and then on screen it turns into a V and a B.
Yeah.
Therefore, every time I ever see something that looks similar-ish to this throne, I have to sit in it and do the
VB. Yes. The one thing I really would have loved to have seen from this is postcards from this shoot.
Yeah.
You know how like people do postcards as part of CD singles? That would have been really lovely from this shoot.
I mean, didn't you get a little postcard with the DVD?
Yeah, but that's the DVD booklet. So I'm really glad with the Réal Beckhams DVD, we actually have stills from the Let Your Head Go video shoot here. That's one with like the mascara running and like the hair all frazzled and the flowers in it. Like that's me waking up after a big night out.
Stun. You this morning. Now again, Victoria performed this out and about everywhere. She did it on, as we've said, Top of the Pops. But what I really loved was the TRL UK performance. Now that is a snapshot of a time, isn't it, Davo?
Oh my God, TRL UK.
TRL UK, okay.
The live performance for this is truly wild and ridiculous. Like, again, we're getting glimpses of her sense of humor here, the theatrics. There's a lot of talk to the hand gestures that she's giving these dancers.
Yeah, and judgments, and they're like humping her leg. And...
Oh my God, that one dancer that like falls to the ground and then reaches his hands up to her private parts, and then she's like slapping his hand away. It's like, this is a lot. There is a lot going on.
There is a
video.
lot. And I just think maybe it was slightly too ahead of its time for anyone to like get, especially like a younger audience.
I don't know. I think maybe the comedy parts would have appealed to the kids because her performance with this groove is so classy and controlled and sexy. Whereas this one, she's getting to give a bit of attitude,
bit of panto.
A bit of panto, a bit more playful.
I do love there's that one bit when she performs it, though, where she does get right down, they're all down.
Yes, that's my favourite part of the video. Yeah, when they all...
That is show your training. She's doing that in heels.
Yeah. From the dance floor to your fantasy, gotta break it down. And they're like bouncing.
Down.
They're bouncing in sync on the ground. I was like, yes. You see, I think it's aimed at the kids a little, this one.
Yeah, it is and it isn't. It is... And it isn't. Now, Davo, around this time and promotional appearances, Victoria was everywhere. One of the ones that I really think for us and our audience, the historical, notorious moment is CD UK Hot Shots with Victoria, Mutia and Cheryl.
Oh, wow. Legends only. Girl group legends only. A-listers.
And they're all talking
about that week's releases, right?
The bookies' favourites for Christmas #1. And we have reaction to Sophie Ellis-Bextor. Vicky going, I knew you'd come to me first. The honest reaction of Mutia being like, I don't like it. I think she's got some good songs and can sing, but this one's not for me.
Yeah. I think out of the three, Victoria was the only media-trained one there.
Yeah.
That was her audition for Pop Idol judge. That's a sizzle. Yeah, that's a sizzle.
She's like, I'm showing you what you're missing.
Yeah, exactly. I can give constructive criticism.
She really could have been the original Cheryl, couldn't she?
Yeah.
I mean, Jezza was the original Cheryl on Pop Stars, but especially like of the time when she'd be releasing music at the same time as well is wild. Now, obviously, when we're talking about notable performances, we have had World Idol as part of this, which we did just speak about in the last episode, but it doesn't get much more bigger and iconic with that. You know, retrospectively, journalists looking back at this, people really are saying wonderful things about it. Rob Copsey, when he was at Digital Spy, said Victoria's short-lived solo career went out with a bang. A lot of people are looking back at it and saying she really did put her best foot forward with this as a double A side.
Lots of effort went into it, yeah.
Victoria was like on every TV show getting out there. Top of the Pop, CD UK, Pop World, TRL, World Idol. When she was on Parkinson, David, interviewing, she had an episode in November preempting the release. It was her, the other guest on the show, David Bowie.
Wow.
Just when you think she couldn't be on any more TV shows, Christmas Eve, ITV1, The Réal Beckhams documentary airs. So not only is she on ITV on Christmas Eve, she's also on ITV on New Year's Day.
Oh my God. Oh, the prime slots. And also don't forget, Top of the Pop's Christmas Day performance, she did Let Your Head Go in a white dress. That is a killer TV booking schedule. Shout out to the TV booker.
Yeah, well done to the plugger there. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Charts for this, Davo. Let's remind everyone, Victoria is the only Spice Girl to have all her solo singles be top 10 singles. This peaked at #3, being the highest solo single from a Spice Girl at that point since Jerry's It's Raining Men.
Which was what, 2001?
2001, yeah. The press did try and recreate a Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Victoria Beckham chart battle again, but Vic did come out on top this time.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. So Victoria's single entered at #3 that week, and Sophie's I Won't Change You debuted at #9. But, you know, we love all our girls. It's not about the competition.
Oh, God,
but,
yeah, we love all our girls.
That was the kind of publicity angle that they were going for in the tabs. So, yeah, Vicky's single sold 29.5 thousand copies in its first week.
I found the Music Week issue from the week of release, from the chart week of this, and they had said, Victoria Beckham, This Groove, Let Your Head Go, a hectic TV schedule for Footballer's Wife, including appearance on World Idol.
Footballer's Wife? Excuse me, Music Week. You are meant to be a trade magazine. Put some respect on multi-award winning songwriter and pop star Vicky B, yet to be OBE.
Provides
Footballer's Wife. That is really misogynistic. I'm mad.
It was 2003, 2004. Please don't be upset with me, David. I just found the PDF. Provides her with #3 debut, although sales were just 29,505 compared to the 36,672 Not Such an Innocent Girl sold when debuting at #6 in 2001.
Different times in it.
Different times in it. So it was the 88th best-selling single of 2004, which
Not
I think
everybody
is
has that.
really, really good. So Victoria was the highest charting new entry that week. Number one, we have Mad World still, the Christmas number one carried over. Ozzy and Kelly with Changes at number 2. Victoria at number 3. Black Eyed Peas with Shut Up at number 5.
Wow.
Alistair Griffin from Fame Academy at number 5. Will Young with Leave Right Now at 6.
Ooh.
Darkness with Christmas Time at number 7. Shane Ritchie with I'm Your Man at number 8.
Wild times.
Sophie Ellis-Bextor new in that week with I Won't Change You. Atomic Kitten with Ladies Night at number 10.
Hun.
And I will go one outside the top 10 because it's worth it. S Club 8 with Don't Tell Me You're Sorry new that week at number 11.
Oh, that's a new release that week.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, busy time at 19HQ. You got S Club 8 going. You got Vicky's comeback single going.
Yeah.
You got Emma presenting on Top of the Pops. Incredible. Well done, Vicky. Well done, Telstar. Well done, 19. Let's look ahead, shall we, JB?
Let's look ahead. So, Davo, the Réal Beckhams did air on TV on the 24th of December, but it was released on DVD on the 2nd of Feb 2004. And not only did it give you that documentary showing the Beckhams moving from London to Madrid, showing Victoria seeing her billboard in Times Square, Vicky getting answer phone messages from Jerry, showing that they'd reconnected.
Oh, wow.
Jerry Halliwell. How are you? How you doing? What you up to? Don't know what country you're in. I'm in England. She really goes on, Jerry. Jerry, yeah, she's called me a couple of times. I had a chance to ring her back. Jerry, out of all the girls, is probably the only one that I really still speak to. I don't not speak to any of them, but, you know, Jerry will ring me for a chat.
But have you been friendly with Jerry? Is that a recent thing again, or is that since the reunion that you all had?
Just before the reunion, I had lunch with Jerry because I was thinking, you know, I always got on very, very well with Jerry. Her heart's in the right place. So I invited her over for lunch because she'd never met Brooklyn. She'd never met Romeo. And I don't have a lot of friends, and I do miss her company. So I invited her over for lunch, and she came with her sister, Natalie, who's very sweet. And, you know, it was just nice and relaxing. And it was after that lunch that I thought, I'm going to get all the Spice Girls together, you know, just to laugh about the things that we've done. You know, it seems ludicrous that we did so much.
It also came with music.
Yes, so here we have 6 new original tracks by our Vicky B. This Groove and Let Your Head Go are included here as the radio mix.
Does it not seem a little bit wild to you that the single, if this is coming out 2nd of Feb, it's just over a month since the single was released?
You need another reason for people to buy the DVD, you know? It's just something to enjoy. I think the music was definitely seen as like, okay, here's a bonus. And also a very no pressure way to release music, because it's not going to chart because it's part of a DVD documentary and people will consume the music that way, but it's not going to reviewers. It's not being positioned as something that the critics or press will focus on, because I don't actually even, for as much attention as there is on Victoria's music and whatever she was doing, people weren't like diving in necessarily into these tracks. Although there's one song in particular and the lyrics that get a bit of airtime.
So the EP had 6 tracks on it. Track 1, This Groove. Track 2, Let Your Head Go. 2 tracks we've already spoken about on this special. So let's go into track 3, Me and You This Time.
Yes, let's do it again. But just me and you. 'Cause I like the love you. Yeah, keep it up, baby. Don't call your friends, and I'll leave my girls. 'Cause I like the love you. Keep it up.
I thought this song was really good. I could see this really working well for an R&B girl band.
Oh yeah, even like a Cheetah Girls. Yes, let's do it again. It's got that bouncy, feel-good R&B song. Like, it feels like a summer love song.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a good song to take you from the first 2 singles to then the rest of the tracks on here as well. Did you hear them at the time, or have you only heard them in later years?
Oh, I absolutely heard them at the time. Because even though this DVD wasn't released in Australia, the magic of the internet and music leaking, so I swiftly got this off the internet at the time. And I was just excited because 2004, we're still away from Destiny's Child releasing Destiny Fulfilled. And there's a couple of tracks on here I feel that is in that universe of R&B songs that have an old school sample or have that kind of old soul, funk, R&B flavor running through it. So I was very primed and very excited for this one. As you probably already guessed, all the songs on here, except for Let Your Head Go, is exec produced by Damon Dash. I think I was more drawn to the darker songs on this album, so I don't really listen to this one as much. But putting it on today, I was like, oh, it's a jam. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, it's just funny to hear Vicky say things like, because I like the thug in you. Thug where? Thug who? David?
Yeah. So let's talk about the next single, the next song on this EP. That Dude. Don't mess with that dude.
And if you don't wanna pay the bills, he helps run up there. And if you lounge at the place while you're working on a come up there. And if you're lazy, trifling, jealous.
This is one of my favorites on this EP for sure. That Dude is produced by Walter Millsap III, who worked on Brandy's Aphrodisiac album and also has worked with Alicia Keys and Mariah. The song is written by Candace Nelson, who has not only written songs for Brandy and Ciara, but also, get this, JB, Radar for Britney.
Brilliant.
Caliber. Now, these R&B songs, looking at the credits, they were all recorded in New York. So Vicky definitely made that trip worthwhile, laid down her vocals, went for a bit of shopping.
Oh, I must say that the Réal Beckhams documentary, Davo, it was nice to watch because I love it's like spending time with Vicky, which is so great to do.
Close personal friend.
But it wasn't as good as, you know, some of the other ones, especially Coming to America, which we've done on this podcast. But what I do love is it keeps showing her in the studio, and every time she's like, right, let's get this done really quickly, then I can go shopping. It's always like, oh, brilliant, that's done. Now let's go shopping. It's always like
comedy queen.
It's like kind of like the music is like getting in the way of her going shopping a little bit, a little bit.
Absolutely love it. So yeah, That Dude also has a sample of the gorgeous 1973 funk soul instrumental by MSFB, Something for Nothing. Lyrically, just like her album track Like That from the debut, I love a cautionary song, a little girl talk time with Vicky, giving some relationship advice.
Look, girls, don't mess with that dude.
Yeah, she's listing off a bunch of red flags that you should avoid in men. Guys who won't commit, guys who are controlling, abusive, guys that are taken. Don't mess with that dude. Vicky told you. If your man's ever weak enough to be hitting you, recognize real and taking what I've given you. You don't deserve it. You're worth so much more than abuse.
Wow.
Powerful.
Tell him, girl.
Tell him, girl.
Now all I can think is I really want a Victoria Beckham version of Radar.
Yeah.
I guess you're so hard, wonder if you know you're on my radar, on my radar, on my radar, on my radar. But yeah, absolutely banger. Don't mess with that dude. Vicky in the girls' toilets with the other girls, showing that she's a girl's girl, you know?
She is a girl's girl. She's there helping you wipe your tears, fix your makeup, wipe off that mascara. She's topping you up with fresh makeup. She's giving you relationship advice. Don't mess with that dude because he's already taken. I don't give a damn what kind of plans you're making. Even if the player says he's planning on shaking, bottom line is he's still taken.
Absolutely.
Real girl. That's the real girl here.
So, Davo, it may not be Feb 14th yet. It may be when you're listening to this, who knows? But let's talk about Valentine's Day.
To you it was a game, and I am the one to blame. I told you that I would leave, and clearly you didn't believe me. Seeing it me on this Valentine's Day.
Wow. Talk about...
Seeing is believing.
Oh, this is a poignant, soulful breakup song. And I'm obsessed with that chorus, that lyric. Seeing is believing. There'll be no me on this Valentine's Day. Yeah.
It's just a real kind of... It's not even a breakup anthem because it's not saying like, get rid of him, girl. It's just saying...
You don't know what you have till it's gone. Yeah. It's going to sink in on Valentine's Day when I'm not there.
A self-assured breakup anthem. A solo honey anthem.
This is produced by Jazz Nixon, who has worked with Christina Milian and Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child. So again, caliber.
Wow. Imagine if all of these songs after the singles was like Victoria featuring Brandy, Victoria featuring Christina Milian.
What a flex.
Shall we talk about the last song, David? And thank God this had an official Victoria release so we can talk about it on this platform.
We are, of course, talking about Resentment, which, for the wider public, know that this is on Beyoncé's B-Day album as an album track. But let me tell you the way the earth stopped the day I heard B-Day. I saw the title Resentment, and I was like, I happen to already know a song called Resentment by Victoria Beckham.
But it couldn't be that song.
It could not be that. Never in a million years of my wildest dreams that I thought Beyoncé would cover a Vicky B song. And then the opening chords of it, I immediately was like, there is no doubt this is the same fucking song, with a couple of changes in the lyrics, like one or two words.
I only gave you a hard time, 'cause I can't go on and pretend like I don't remember feeling like I was no good, like I couldn't do it for you, like your mistress could.
It's real, it's vulnerable, it's raw, it's gorgeous, it's Victoria.
I think with all the press narrative that was going on at the time, she quietly puts a song like this on the Réal Beckhams DVD. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, isn't it wild that it really wasn't picked up wider?
I'm sure the tabloids had a field day because it's like, I know she was attractive, but I was here first. Been riding with you for 5 years. What did I deserve? Oh, Vicky, it's heartbreaking to listen to this, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And she should be so proud of this song.
I mean, we love Beyonce's performance of it. Obviously, you know, she brings such range and such power.
But so does Victoria.
But there's something about the vulnerability and the fragility of how Victoria sings it that it just feels so intimate.
Don't you not just think it's absolutely wild that a Victoria Beckham released song ends up going to Beyoncé? Do you think the Victoria version was the demo they played Beyoncé?
I think Beyoncé would have been like, can't touch this. It's already been done by a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think they would have played the demo version, the songwriter's demo version, because it would have been too intimidating to hear Vic's vocals on it.
Yeah. Imagine if one day Beyoncé wanted to perform it and was like, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend, Victoria Beckham.
Oh my God, that's
I
what should
know
have
she
happened.
was attractive, but I was here first. Because you know what they say, it was a fine affair, but now it's over.
And suddenly we have a greatest hits medley by Vic. That should have been part of the Renaissance tour.
Maybe it'll be part of this. By the time this is out, maybe it will have been part of that Christmas Day halftime show. But yes, Victoria was working on 2 albums, a pop album and an R&B hip hop album. And so do we think this was a curated taste of tracks Victoria wanted to put out?
Yeah, I think this would have been like the sampler, basically, of what's to come. That's the idea, I feel. Or, we know it was a compromise because Telstar didn't love the Damon Dash sessions. So maybe this, doing it as part of a DVD release where it's more 19 management controlled, they could reach that compromise with letting the fans have these songs. But, in the years since this, over 24 tracks have leaked from these sessions over this period of time. So we've heard a lot of different kinds of Victoria unreleased music.
Absolutely. So yeah, we have what is allegedly these two albums
come together, which is the Damon Dash one, with the title track sampling the Beatles, which is where the title's from, and which had his infamous spoken word rap where he was like hitting back at the tabloids.
Absolutely brilliant.
I know y'all been hearing, I've been working with Victoria Beckham, aka Posh Spice. I know y'all thinking this shit don't make sense. How is he gonna turn a pop star into a real rock star? And I also hear a lot of people saying you're gonna get her to rap and all that kind of dumb shit like that. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not gonna happen.
We're not talking about the unreleased tracks, but you've also got Freedom is a real standout. The George Michael sample. Freedom lives in you, yeah, yeah.
They really were trying to do that British legends crossover with American hip-hop production kind of handshake emoji, weren't they?
Which kind of makes sense, Before this all wraps up, the British J-Lo did tease a follow-up single, didn't she, Davo?
I was excited at the prospect of this. So at the time, in early 2004, she did a Marie Claire interview where she mentioned a forthcoming single for a summer 2004 release. And the song was called My Love Is For Real. Now, for years, I was waiting for this song to leak because I was so curious what direction it would go in. But I think it was hinted that it's pop rather than R&B, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But already the vibe of this interview and the way she's talking about her music career, she's starting to describe it as a hobby.
I get to do it for the love of the music.
Yeah, when I'm not shopping. So Vic said in this interview, my records have all done very well, and to anyone else, it would be a big success. It's not the public not giving it a chance, it's the media, and I recognize that. I used to think that if I put out a good record, like my last record, the double A-side This Groove, Let Your Head Go, that would be enough, but it's not. The odds are so stacked against me. I've spoken to my manager Simon about it. I'm not sure anyone's ever going to give me a fair go with my music.
Vic, we're giving you a fair go. We're giving you beyond a fair go. I was in dance class, demanded we dance to Out of Your Mind because I love Victoria.
But yeah, hopefully after all these years, she continues to feel the love from pop fans for her music. No, she's never really talked about it. She's never really acknowledged it.
I don't think she wants to, no.
No,
the
not even like
stuff.
in a jokey, like even with Naomi Campbell, like if you go and see her and offer her album to be signed, she'll sign it,
I think Vicky signed stuff, but it's tricky, isn't it? Because everything that's officially released is officially released, So the Réal Beckhams DVD is the closest we'd get to the rest of the album officially released for her to sign.
Yeah.
But look, My Love Is Real is out there. And it's a really lovely song, written by Kathy Den, apparently. So that's absolutely fab.
Part of the 19 management team, yes.
Kathy Dennis and Terry Ronald are two of the co-writers on it.
Oh, it's a pop song for sure.
It's breezy, disco, bubblegum pop, almost slightly K-poppy, like me even knowing what K-pop is. But those really fun sort of synths on it.
Fluorescent synths.
Not 80s edgy synths, just
frothy, girly.
Love it. But yeah, what could have been? All we can hope is that one day Victoria will say, do you know what? I fancy putting that music out there. And we're ready and waiting and we're willing to buy.
So the reason why things came to an abrupt halt as well is that Telstar Records went bankrupt.
5th of April 2004, it was reported in Music Week that Telstar goes into administration. So this is Victoria, this is the Cheeky Girls, this is Mystique.
We were robbed of the third Mystique album. They'd already started work on that. But also, quite cruelly at this time, and I don't feel like, you know, maybe it's just people chatting and whatnot, but like it was said in interviews, even by Alicia Dixon and stuff, that Victoria bankrupted the label. That was the narrative that the tabloid was leading on, that the label overspent and went bust.
Which, you know, regardless...
Unfair.
It's extremely unfair, but also that's a label doing not good business.
Yeah.
So don't throw a singer under the bus for that.
Yeah.
Because things would have to be signed off, or if she was going with things that weren't signed off, then they're not doing a very good job, are they?
Yeah.
So the end of news of this kind of cycle is 25th of May 2004 on MTV, the MTV News Roundup. Victoria Beckham is to make a determined effort to break the US as a solo artist, even marketing herself as Posh Spice Victoria Beckham. Manager Simon Fuller is behind a massive marketing campaign in an effort to get his record label 19 Recordings up and running in the US. If all goes well, Will Young, Rachel Stevens and Emma Bunton will follow suit.
Incredible. So this was in 2004. And if you think about when Emma was doing her US promo for Free Me, wasn't it this year?
I feel like Pre-Me US promo even bled into 2005.
Later, yeah.
So the rumblings here to get it set up for all that. Imagine Vicky this era, cracking America. They're gifting Will to the States, gifting Rachel to the States, and then, oh, come on then, Emma Bunton's here, other Spice Girl, cracking America.
And Vicky was the gateway drug. She
Yeah.
had her Roc-A-Fella connection.
Opening the
She's already in
doors.
time. Yeah.
That strut with the black satin nightgown coming through. Hello, America.
Hi, it's me. The teaser.
But I love that even, you know, after Telstar's gone into administration, yes, we know it didn't happen, but there was a spark of like hope and positivity. So yeah, I absolutely wish that had happened. I really think Rachel could have done really well in America.
Yeah.
All right, Davo, thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I've absolutely loved dissecting this sliver in time in Spice World, a really exciting and optimistic time. Victoria releasing some of her best work to date. And you know what I really love, which we didn't touch on? She does a lot of Instagram content in that kind of look from the Let Your Head Go video. The towel head and towel dressing gown. So you always feel like it's like, oh my God, let your head go. Even though she's just like trying to get ready.
Yeah, literally just that. Yeah. And the sound is not on Instagram for her to add.
Could be Vic. All right, pop fans. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this Victoria journey. Let's give 2025 a whole lot of pop love. Let's go for it and go for it. You have been listening to Right Back At You, the 2000s pop music podcast. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us a lovely 5-star review. Tell a pop-loving friend. Email our hearts rightbackpod@gmail.com. Follow me at Dr_Joel B. That's Dr_Joel B on all social platforms. You can follow him at
Love Limmy.
Until next time, bye. Let your head go.